Hey, what's up? My name is Tackless, and today I'm going to be showing off a quick little proof of concept, or I don't know, tech demo or something like that for a choose your own adventure game. Um, this is something that I've had kind of in the back of my head for a while, and I've wondered if Project Spark is a possible platform for it, because Project Spark is much better at, well, what we're seeing here. Creating environments, cool looking props, stuff like that. So I'm going to run through this choose your own adventure game. This is going to be heavily inspired by an app called... Oh, man, I can't remember what it's called. I'm going to have to look it up. But, yeah, it's heavily inspired by an app where an astronaut crashes on an alien planet and you have to kind of guide them through on how to survive. And mostly you just kill them accidentally. This is going to be a little bit like that. This is just a proof of concept. This is not the final story. I don't know how far I'm going to go with this, but I just thought this would be neat to show off. So we're going to interact with this computer. It'll boot up. And then at first we get a lot of nothing. If we wait for 20 seconds, it'll advance on its own. But let's just hit X. So once again, we're getting a lot more of nothing, pretty much. Alright, so we have someone saying hello, and it's all distorted, and we're getting some binary text. Now we're getting the first options. So the person is saying, do you read me? So the options we have is hello and barely you're breaking up. So let's go with barely you're breaking up. Oh, there we go. Looks like I got this sucker dialed in. Hello there. So then we can advance, and the person that we're speaking with, who is currently unnamed, and yes, I know this takes place in the same universe as Terminal Island. I don't care. This was just proof of concept. I wasn't building an immaculate story here. But person says, hi, I'm in a pretty bad situation. I'm on Terminal Island and my shelter's collapsed on me. Currently pinned to the ground, been fiddling with this radio for a while. Look, I'm going to need your help. I've been trying to get this beam off of my leg. It hasn't been going well. I don't think it's broken, but I was bleeding for a while. I know you're who knows where and can't directly help me, but could I get some help? Maybe just moral support? And the options are, tell me what you see in your surroundings, or what am I even supposed to do? And on these choice screens, there isn't a time limit, so you have plenty of time to read the dialogue and read your options. So we're going to go with, tell me what you see in your surroundings. And he says, let's see, I've obviously got the steel beam on my leg. There's a lot of debris around me, like wood fragments and glass shards. I've got a fire extinguisher, but outside of my reach. I'm wearing typical Titan Industries gear, and I'm wearing a gas mask. I can smell the outside atmosphere leaking in, so I put my mask on. I think I see a tablet in front of me as well. And then he says, look, I've got a good feeling about that extinguisher, but it's out of my reach. I might be able to reach that tablet. What do you think? I know this is pretty much just a repeat of previous text, but we're going to have him go for the tablet. So he's going to reach for it, and he says, okay, I've got it. Screen is completely shattered, though. I don't think I can interface with it. What was I going to do with this anyways? And I haven't coded this far in the story yet, but picking up the tablet would help him later in the story. So let's advance, and he says, whatever, I'll keep it on hand. I can't feel my foot, though. Maybe I should go for the fire extinguisher now. I've just thought, I bet I could use my belt to get it. Let me try. Now, you had the option earlier of asking him to take off his belt and grab it, but he's figured it out on its own since you didn't help him. So now he's pulled off his belt, and he's got the fire extinguisher. So he says, I've got it. I made a little loop with my belt and wrangled the fire extinguisher. I've got it in my hands. What do I do with it now? And the options are, try emptying it beside your leg, should make your leg slick, and pull it out. The other option is, can you use it to pry the beam off your leg? Use it for leverage. I haven't coded past this, but I do know that if you choose to empty the fire extinguisher, it's not going to work, and later on, there's going to be a fire in a room that you can't put out, and that room becomes inaccessible. So the better option is to use it to pry the beam off your leg for leverage. But if I advance, that's it. That's the end of the story so far. But let's run through that again really quickly and choose the opposite answers so that you can see the differences here. Oh, I got to restart. There we go. Restarted. So we'll skip that. And we're just going to skip straight to the options. So the first time we were here, we picked barely you're breaking up. So this time we're going to pick hello. And we're going to get a lot more garble. And then we're going to advance, and he gets it tuned in again. So now we're going to get back to this option where he tells you the situation is in. Last time we picked, tell me about what you see in your surroundings. This time we're going to pick, what am I even supposed to do? And he says, I don't know, I'm no survivalist. Can you think of anything that might get me out of this? I'm sure you've got internet connectivity. Can you please give me some suggestions? So I advance, and it takes me pretty much back to the same spot that we were before. It gives us the option to go for the tablet or take off your belt and reach for the fire extinguisher. So this time we're going to reach for the fire extinguisher. So we're pretty much back to the same spot that we were before, with now he's got the fire extinguisher, and he's got the option to empty it beside his leg or use it to pry off the beam. Now, I do intend to have branching stories rather than every choice leading back to the same thing, or some of these choices will affect things later on. Like, for example, since we grabbed the tablet, maybe later on we need to use the tablet to interface with something, even though the screen's shattered. Or, since we emptied the fire extinguisher beside my leg, like I mentioned earlier, we may not be able to get into a room, or something like that. So, that's the general idea here. So, that's just the proof of concept. I'm thinking about making a tutorial on this, except it's extremely code-heavy for the results that we get. And I feel like that if I play with this more, I'll probably be able to make a more efficient version. This is how the brain works. Yeah, this is the intro where the computer boots up. And then this is what the code looks like to actually have the dialogue play out, which is kind of convoluted. But it works surprisingly well. And then this is the page that actually has all the different options and how they play out. So let me know what you think. If you really want a tutorial on this, let me know. Planning on writing a bigger story and making a full-fledged game out of this, or probably a short one. It helps that, this is simpler than a full-fledged 3D Terminal Island-esque game. So I bet I can make a fairly long story with it. And I know this doesn't come up too often, but I have actually taken quite a few writing courses, been to some writing conventions. I wouldn't call myself an expert, but I'd say I'm knowledgeable on how to write a good fiction story. So yeah, this is just proof of concept. Let me know what you think, and I will talk to you guys later.